What's up, grinders? More game, more game, more game, right? Back again with another video about the dump truck business. Glad to be with you on today. Ready to kick it to you. Hope you're ready for it, all right? Topic for the day is 3 steps to bidding on dump truck jobs, right? 3 steps to bidding on dump truck jobs, right? How does that even happen? Is it something that you got to jump through a whole bunch of hoops? You know, guys seem like you got the inside scoop on things. How do you do it, right? I'm glad you asked. 3 things. We'll talk you through it, how this thing typically happens, okay? All right, so the first thing is many may be wondering, how do you even get the opportunity, right? Well, the opportunities to bid on dump truck jobs typically come through several ways. All right, first thing is if you're a minority contractor. I'm a minority contractor here in my state, and so what happens is I maybe get some letters out or emails out to me from the state telling me about this particular job, right? And so I can respond to that by submitting a bid on that particular job through that contractor, whatever the case may be, right? So that's one way you get the opportunity to do that, okay? All right, the second way is that if you're currently working for a contractor, typically they'll go ahead and ask you about putting in a bid on the next job, right? That they may have just won or that they might be bidding on. That has happened for me a whole bunch. Gave me the inside scoop on a lot of jobs because they just simply came to me because I was already working for them. Hey, look, we got this coming up. Give us a price on this, blah, blah, blah. So it happens that way, right? Right. All right. And then also emails and solicitations, whether it be you email general contractors or they email you. I've gotten things that want to ask me to bid over the fax machine, right? And then nowadays, I wouldn't be surprised you could see something on social media that may ask you about bidding on jobs, right? So this is kind of like how the opportunities kind of happen, right? They don't just fall out of the sky. You just have to be in the network of how it happens, either through being a minority contractor, either by you contacting a general contractor or they contacting you because you're working for them, or through emails, faxes, letters, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's number 1. That's how it typically happens. Number 2, this is what you need to do once that happens, right? Get all the bid info. Typically, if you get a letter from the state or for a contract, it's a bid package, right? And it'll have all of the things that you need to know. But I'm going to give you the things you definitely need to know before you quote a price, right? You need to know the location, right? Where's this particular job at? Why is this important, country CEO? This is important because you need to know if you got to travel. Or do you have to get a hotel room? If this 50, 60, 70 miles away, right? You need to understand where is it at from where you're located so you can understand what's going to be your expense, if any, that needs to go into that bid, right? Then you need to know, is it by the hour or by the load? Is it going to be a job that strictly is going to be by the hour? Then you're going to be preparing to give the by the hour bid, right? If it's by the load, then you're going to need to be giving a by the yard, by the ton, whatever you're hauling, a rate though that's by the load, right? All right, so you need to know that kind of thing. And then if it's by the load, you need to understand what's the distance between where you're getting the material and where you're taking the material. Okay? All right. All right. Thirdly, you need to know how much you need, profit you need to make off of this particular job, right? You understand now that you got a rate, where you're going to be going, which allows you to factor in your overhead. Then you're going to need to see how much profit you need to make, right? You need to run the numbers. Put it on paper is what I like to do so I can see just what they are. Seeing is believing, right? All right, so some of those things that you're going to have to deduct as expenses when you're factoring in your margins or your profit is diesel. How much it's going to cost you per day diesel, whether it be by the load or by the hour. How much diesel you going to burn every day? And if you got to drive on the truck, then or even if that's you're the driver, how much you're paying yourself or the driver, you need to deduct that. And then you determine how much you got left after that, right? And is that a decent amount of profit margin for you? Okay. All right. So these are things that go into trying to figure out how you go about bidding this stuff, right? Then you need to also know the length of the job. How long is this job going to last, right? Is this just 2 or 3 months? Is it a year? All of this will play a factor in the rate, right? Because there have been times that I may have shaved off $1 or $2 on my bid because I'm going to be here a year, or I'm going to be here 7, 8 months, right? And I would love those kinds of times because guess what? I can sit back stress-free, right, for 7, 8 months not looking for any work because I know where I'm going every day, right? All right, because let me tell you something. My first few years in business, I spent the rat race, my time in the rat race rather, looking for work on a daily basis. Nobody knew me. Work was out there, but I had to go and find it, right? And so every day I'm having to line up what's for the next day if that job wasn't a 2 or 3 day job. But now as you build relationships now and you do these bids, it's a luxury to be able to get on a job 7, 8 months, a year or two, and you know where you're going every day, right? So find out what's the length of that job, because you might be willing to take $1 or $2 less if that job is going to last 7, 8 months, because you're going to make the money in longevity. Okay. All right. Not telling you to underbid. All I'm simply saying, you got flexibility when you know you're going to be at that job for a while. Okay. All right. And then the last thing that goes into this, second thing goes into putting a bid together here is, will you need subs? In other words, will you need other trucks to help you? How many trucks are they asking you for? Will it change? Right. All right. Why is this important, Country CEO? Because if they ask you to get other trucks, then you need to have enough money in that bid that if you got to go get another trucker or 2 or 3 to help you, then there's enough money to pay them a decent rate, right? And for you to make $5 or $10 if it's by the hour off the truck, or if it's by the load, you to make a few dollars off the loads as well, right? So you got to get all the information pertaining to that from the beginning. How many trucks are you going to need to run this job, sir? He going to need 5 or 6 trucks. Factor in enough money. So if you got to go get a guy to come help you, he's going to get what he needs to get, and he's going to be satisfied with, and you can make a little money off of that. All right? So the second step is, in the bidding process, get all of the bid info. First step is how does this opportunity happen? Finding out how these bids come about. But then thirdly and lastly, submit your bid, right? Figure out what your numbers are, what you got to make. Submit your bid. What goes into that? Here are some things I would suggest. It needs to be computer processed. All right. In other words, get your bid typed up, neat and professional. Remember, I always tell you that presentation goes a long way, right? And so you want to handle business in a professional way. Give them a professional looking bid, right? Typed. You need to have your company letterhead on there, whatever your company name at the top, address, your name, your number, all of that good stuff, right? You want this thing to be professional, right? All right, correct spelling, punctuation, all that stuff is in order, right? People perceive you in the way that you present yourself. Did you get that? People perceive you, get a gauge on you, right? On how you present yourself. So you want to present that bid in a professional manner, put it in an envelope if they want you to hand it to them, or unless it's an email, do that, right? All right, so that's it. That's the game on submitting bid for dump truck. Let me recap it for you, right? Opportunities happen by way of being a minority contractor, a general contractor that you're working for, email solicitations, faxes. All right, get all the bid info, such as location, length of time, how many trucks they going to need, is it about an hour, is it about a rate, is it on site, all that good stuff. And then thirdly, submit the bid. Submit it in a professional way, email, typed, correct spelling, punctuation, your letterhead, all of that good stuff, right? All right. That's all I got for you when it comes to bidding on dump truck jobs, okay? All right, so if this video has been valuable to you, hit that like, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you can get this game when the Country CEO is kicking it out, right? All right, I ain't said it in a while, but let me say it to you. No grind, no shine. Country CEO, I'm gone.